What's going on, guys? A long overdue welcome back to our Surviving Bedrock series here with a brand new episode in the brand new year. I know it's been a good 2 or 3 weeks since I've done any recording or released any videos, but I was just having a bit of a break from the console. I've been playing a lot of modded Minecraft and I've been in two minds whether to record that or not, but yeah, I wasn't too sure. But I did get some progress done over here. I've got a little glass box for where I AFK. It was only 1 layer thick initially, but then I got killed by phantoms when I was AFKing one night. So then I doubled it up and it seems to have done the trick. I also went and installed a item sorting system just to sort out all the different drops. I know that I said I was going to do that on camera in the last episode, but you've seen me build this sort of item sorting system about 100 odd times now. It's thrown in like most of my normal farms that I've got, and it's very basic simple. Well, basic simple, it's very basic and simple for what I was going for, and it is just your bog standard item sort if we could get round to the back. And yeah, you just got the item sorter, so you've got the filter list, which is I believe this one here. And then, yeah, so we've got a bunch more drops flowing in, and I'll quickly show you the sort of drop rates we're getting. This is only around about 2, maybe 3 nights worth of AFKing, so we've got a bunch of leather, a bunch of wool, loads of the raw meat coming in, loads of raw chicken, feathers, got string, gunpowder. I've already stocked up our, what is it, our rocket box. That one I've thrown in, I think it was like 10 or so stacks of fireworks, and I've got a stack on me. And the gunpowder is now coming in more than what we need it for at the moment. Rotten flesh, bones, whatnot, and we've got our random drops at the end. So yeah, this farm's actually working out pretty well. As long as I've got the simulation distance on 4 chunks, I'm still running into the issue of the cheeky little spiders hanging about, which is taking up the mob cap. So if I'm like AFKing, or if I'm doing something on the PC while I'm AFKing on this, then I can shoot the spiders every other day, and it's not too much of an issue. But as you can see, they do end up building up quite a bit, and I have not figured out a solution for that yet. Now, for today's episode, I honestly have no idea. I just hit record thinking, well, about time I've done a little bit of recording in this world, and I've no idea what I actually want to do. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a little wander around, sort of just do maintenance bits and pieces. Like I know I need to restock on a couple of like ender pearls and stuff like that, because my chest in my ender pearl chest in my ender chest is what I was trying to think of to say, is completely empty. So I'm gonna have to restock that, and then I'll bring you back. So yeah, catch you back in a sec. Alright then, guys, so I've done a little bit of running around and gathering some supplies and whatnot, and I went over to our AFK-able ender pearl farm, and it is not working like at all. Apparently endermen can no longer spawn on magma blocks whatsoever, which means that whole farm is completely broken. So I had to sort of do a budget manual farm, just had like a hopper minecart underneath the ground, and I was aggroing enderman, killing him with my looting free sword. So we have actually got this one topped up a little bit, and we've got another whole chest there. And then I thought, to save me having to run around gather supplies for today's project, I was trying to think of the supplies that we had sort of going spare. And we've got the glass and trapdoors left over from our massive passive hostile mob farm from the last episode. And we also had a ton of obsidian left over from where I was clearing out underneath the ocean monument for our guardian farm. So I went and gathered all of them up. So we've got some glass in there, we've got a bunch of obsidian there, we've got a bunch of trapdoors there. So I thought, why not make a gold farm, zombie pigman farm. There we go. So yeah, we've got all of that ready to go, and all that I need to do now is try to find the location for it. Now the farm design I'm doing, I think it's been done quite a fair few times, but a lot of people is using the farm design to funnel the zombie pigmen out into the nether, and then they're having like one person in the nether while an AFK person in the overworld. I really can't be bothered to have another 2-person required farm running, so what I'm going to do is I'm just doing it in a completely overworld farm design, which is, I'm fairly sure it's been done before. It's using the same concept, except for you have a gap space in between the nether portals. So instead of them walking from one nether portal into another nether portal, they're actually going to be trying to walk out and falling down into a waterway, which will funnel them down to a central killing area, where I'll just AFK there, get the XP while gathering the gold, which is a sort of 2 birds 1 stone scenario there. I was coming up here to double check on my kelp farm because for some reason I was not getting any kelp feeding down below, but I think it seems to be alright by the looks of it. I think I just had to wait for a minute or two for it to actually fill up, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to fly around and actually find a location. My words keep on getting muddled up, I'm not used to talking to myself anymore. Yeah, I'm going to fly around and find a location for this farm, and I'll bring you back once I have. Alright then guys, I found the location. I thought once again 2 birds 1 stone scenario, because I'm planning on making a sort of, whatchamacallit, slime farm sort of out in the swamps, because slimes tend to spawn in the swamps a lot more reliably than they are in slime chunks at the moment. Like, I've got 2 different slime farms set up with that one that's at our passive and hostile mob farm. I've actually put down like a full layer of blocks underneath to see if slimes are spawning, and they still won't spawn. They do spawn every so often, but with 5 chunks you would have thought that there would have been just an astronomical amount, and there really isn't. I get maybe 1 or 2 every half an hour. So I thought that I could build a sort of slime farm out here in the swamps. So what you have is sort of like iron golems sitting around in random locations with hoppers and cactuses set up around them. The slimes get attracted to the iron golems, die on the cactus, and the drops fall into the hoppers. It's a very sort of low budget and low tech farm, but it's one that I can actually do probably in between episodes. But this one I thought I may as well have a gold farm out over here, because we're going to be having our slime farm over here rather than me having to go to 2 separate locations, say AFK, for resources. I thought having them both over here would be a little bit handy. Not to mention, I really do like the way the water looks in this biome for some reason. It's just a lot different than what it used to be. But I'm going to get all of my stuff set out. I've got to try to remember what the maximum dimensions of a nether portal is. If I remember correctly, I think it's 23 by 23, but I'm definitely going to double check before I start laying down obsidian. So we're going to want glass and some stone bricks as well. Hopefully we've got all of the bits and pieces that we need on us. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably do the first couple of portals and set up the central sort of chamber area where we're going to be funneling them to, and I'll bring you back after I make a little bit of progress. Alright then guys, so I did double check and it is definitely 23 by 23 obsidian square, which is the max size for the nether portals. Now what I've done here is I've done a glass sort of platform leading down to a 2x1 tube, because that is the maximum size that you can actually do the trident glitch for the carpets, and that's what we're going to be using to kill these guys. So I wanted to make sure that this all fit, and I've got to bring ice up with me to triple check the actual size measurements. Let me grab some ice. Hop back up here. Now I don't know how many nether portals I'm going to be doing. I'm just pretty much going to go by how much obsidian that I've got, because this obsidian that I had just sitting there doing nothing anyway. Ouch. So hopefully all of this will should just lead directly to the 2 squares in the middle. Nice. And you. And you. And you. Now with the nether portals being an odd number, it works out on the side that is 9 along, but it will be off center if I do them going on the 10 along sides. So what I'm thinking is I'm just going to start doing nether portals out in each direction on our negative sides, just so it's sort of symmetrical for OCD purposes. And hopefully we run out of obsidian before we run out of our rendering distance, really. Because obviously I don't want the nether portals to be so far away that there's no chance of zombie pigmen spawning on them. Pretty cool. And we don't want it to be too high up, so we can start our first one right about... Can we place it on the side of this guy? Is that going to be too low? You know what? just on safety's sake. And can we break that block? There we go. Okay, efficiency 5 doesn't actually take too long on the obsidian, so 23 by 23. Okay, so that's our first portal done, and what I actually want to do is, I don't want to go ahead and build a ton of these without making sure that it will actually light. Oh, yeah, we can grab this piece of obsidian, nice. Flint and steel, have we? Yes, we do. And then we're going to want a bucket of water, just to break the portal, because obviously we don't want the noise of it in our ears while we're sort of building all of them. I'm going to light them all at the end to get it all up and running rather than lighting one by one and accidentally teleporting through the portals. But yep, that is one big portal. Okay, break that. So we now know that that's all working, so I'm just going to quickly go, well, not quickly, I'm going to painstakingly slowly go along and try to get these done. I'm going to do it as 2 gaps in between each one. I need some Junko blocks really. Grab the dirt that I was using earlier, because I want 2 gaps in between each one. That way I'll have trapdoors either side on each of the portals, and that way the zombie pigmen have got a lot more chance of falling down a 2 wide gap rather than just a 1 wide with a trapdoor on, because they sometimes just balance on the edge of the trapdoor if they haven't got a complete path going along. So we're going to do 2 wide gaps. So yeah, I think in a first person time lapse we're going to see how many of these we can crack out. Alright then guys, so it is actually quite a fair bit later. I had quite an issue sorting out the water streams because I ended up having to bring them down. So I've ended up getting rid of that entire drop section that we had. I've had to lower it so then we've got an increment of the actual water coming down, rather than having to do any sort of finagling with signs and whatnot. But I need to get rid of this dirt. So I've had to do some sort of like tricky little bits with waterways and whatnot up here. Let me grab a shovel on hand. There we go. And then pop down. Thought I'd bring you back now so then we could light all the portals just to see if we get any sort of reasonable sort of mob drops coming through. I haven't set up the killing chamber or nothing yet, so hopefully it's not stupidly overpowered and it is just like one that is reasonable to AFK at. So if it does just come down to where there's just tons of them coming out, I'll probably end up having to shut it off to finish it off. Yeah, so as you can probably see, all of the trapdoors and obsidian's placed, and oh my god, I never want to have to work with trapdoors again. They're such a pain to work with, because you have to go round, you have to lay them all, and then you have to go back, and then you have to like close them or open them all. So they do just become a little bit of a pain. Starting to feel the lag already from the particles. And that one. Okay, that's that lot done. Go over to this side. Can we end the pelt up to this thing up here? And up we go. Nice. And a 2. 3. I could hear a zombie pigman there. Thing is that they had, yeah, there's one. They spawn and then they can end up just hanging about for quite a while. I've also had to throw down a bunch of jack-o'-lanterns underneath because it was like getting proper pitch black down there. It would be a baby one as well, wouldn't it? Ouch. Okay. Let's quickly sleep. And we just hang about for a little bit and hopefully not get blown up. I did actually have to go off and get more glass as well, because I completely ran out. So let me get rid of some of these guys. Whoa, okay. So 2 in about 30 seconds. So what I was thinking about doing is that if I expand it, I'm thinking of doing portals on top of the portals that I've currently got. So that way I don't actually have to expand the waterways at all. I just have to build the nether portals up and lay the trapdoors and whatnot. But yeah, we are getting a fair few coming through now. Aggro him. Look. It's going to be one pain. Maybe I shouldn't have done this before I actually sorted out the drop area to kill them off. I was trying to build it while they're dropping down, maybe a little bit of pain, but I can't be able to actually go switching it all off. But it's incredibly late for me right now. It's around about 12 o'clock and I've not even eaten. So what I am going to do is I'm probably going to finish off the drop shoot first thing tomorrow morning, and I'll probably bring you back after the whole drop shoot's done and the auto killing chamber's done. That way I don't have to try to think of what I'm saying while recording this late. So yeah, I guess I'll catch you tomorrow morning in a bit. Alright then guys, so it's now actually around about 2 or 3 days later. I ended up having some issues with my recording PC. A Windows update updated a load of the graphics software for some reason, which made some of my recording software not work and it wasn't recording the images properly. So I had to actually go in and downgrade one of the things that Windows had automatically updated for some reason. So yeah, fun and games doing that. But whilst all of that's been going on, I did go ahead and I built the kill chamber and also built a storage system for it. I'd left it AFK for one night because obviously I didn't want to have to leave the area because I wanted to finish up recording this episode. So yeah, as you can see, I'm level 130 because we've got the auto killing section in now with the trident on the carpet. So we're using that little trick to kill the pigman, and that is actually raking in quite a lot of gold nuggets. So we've got tons in there. That one's full. I'm not sure if this one's on its way to being full, and we've got a bunch of ingots in there. So we're definitely set for gold at the moment, which I'm quite happy about. I did not think that this farm was going to work nearly as good as it is with only, what is it? I think it's 16 portals that we've got. Oh, that's not my fireworks, is it? And that would be the fireworks. I think we've got 16 portals, haven't we? 8 on each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, we've got a skelly just jamming up there. Let's see if we can get a flyby shot on him. Oh, yeah, he's still there. Yeah, that works sweet. Okay, yeah, so as I was saying, this is now pretty much done and dusted. I've got all of the waters done, I've got all the portals in, I've got the kill chamber in, we've got our zombie pigments building up now because the kill thing switched off. And the one thing that I was surprised about actually after building it, not only is the drop rate extremely good with just that many portals, and it's got us up to a level 130 in one night AFKing. Well, it's about one night in nearly the majority of a day, so probably around about 18 hours or so. Now obviously compared to PC version gold farms, this is not even a scratch on it, but for a AFK-able Bedrock gold farm, I think it's working out pretty well, considering it gets us levels, repairs our tools and repairs our armor while we're here, and then we also get the gold. And I'm also just getting rid of all of the rotten flesh because I think I've got 2 or 3 other farms that are bringing in the rotten flesh that we don't need another one doing it. Them. Yeah, so what I was going to say is after coming back and leaving it AFK for so long, usually in my mob farms, if I'd done that, I would find an absolute ton of hostile mobs around the area. Now I've come back, the only hostile mob that I've killed is the one that you saw, which is the skelly, and there's nothing at all around here, and I don't know why that is. I'm not too sure if it's because where I've been AFKing and at night time, when the phantoms are spawning, when they spawn, they fly into the nether portal trying to like swoop down towards where I am down here. And I'm not sure if that is like loading up so many hostile mobs in the area. But what I'm wondering is that if we go through one of these portals, I have no idea where this is going to take us. I have no idea if this is going to be a good idea or not. But yeah, that was a bad idea. Bad idea. So yeah, so as you can see, I think we figured out what is going on. Oh my god, it's like Attack of the Spider Apocalypse down here. Okay, so I was thinking it was going to be phantoms, and clearly it was spiders that have been spawning on the portals and going through them. Let's hopefully get rid of these. Oh my... Okay, that was a lot more than I was thinking, and I think there was also a creeper there because it has completely blown out that portal. I have no idea where this portal was going to either. So, get rid of the rest of these guys. Yeah, I have no idea why there's just spiders. There's definitely obviously a creeper in there. I'm sorry about that, my phone's not on silent again. And there's obviously a... whatchamacallit? Zombie riding a chicken. Which is what I'm assuming. Oh, I haven't got a flint and steel, have I? And I don't think you could light these with fire arrows. What can we do now? And we haven't got fire spreads on either. So it's not like I can even get... Okay, well give us a second and I'll get back there. Alright then guys, managed to find my way back. Now when I go through that portal and then light it and then come back through this side, it actually ends up being the one... Oh, that's all of them guys, isn't it? It ends up being the one that's over near our Guardian farm. But yeah, that's a lesson learned for me. Obviously, when you've been here for a while, do not attempt to go through the portal. But as you can see now, there's mobs spawning because I've got rid of all of the ones that were obviously built up within the portal itself, which is how comes it was absolutely dead before. So yeah, that's a lesson learnt, which is quite handy to work in this area. But yeah, as for today's episode, I think that's going to be it from me. Let's get this machine to turn off so I can say goodbye properly. Yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode. I know it's been a little bit jump cutty with progress updates, but hopefully you enjoyed it nonetheless. And I'm thinking next episode we could probably start working out a form of doing a slime farm in this area as well. It will probably involve me having to flatten out and get rid of quite a lot of this water around this actual place, because obviously where I'm AFK in here, I'd like to be able to collect the slime balls from the sort of passive slime farm that we can have running, rather than it being designated just for one sort of mob. So yeah, I'll probably work on that in between episodes, and then probably bring you back once I've got an actual idea as to how I'm meant to be doing it. So I've not even seen any sort of tutorials or the way it should work, so I'm going to have a little play around in my test world with it. But hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Bye bye.